Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the now named Dragon Calamity campaign run by me, your DM, Abby. We are joined by 3 of our 4 players because it is the day after Christmas here for all of us, and unfortunately, Alabama is being hit with some storms. So, Ian, who normally plays Xander, is unable to join us at this moment, but he may or may not join us after or at some point if his power does come back on. But we all have warm wishes for him. Speaking
But
of all of
tish.
us, say again?
I said, but tish.
Yeah. Speaking of, let's introduce our first player of the evening. Kyo, how are you?
I am well. I am fed, and I'm trying not to stab myself further with my knives as I play with my Gundams.
How's Kaylin? Let's check in on your characters as part of the intro. Like, where's Kaylin at mentally, you think, right now?
Kaylin is probably still very amused that Zaroka missed that easy shot on all of those little mooks that we were just kicking around and just having fun with, and a little trepidatious as we're heading into a cave system and we have no idea what on earth is going on. So,
got it. Sandy, how are you? How's it going?
I'm good. I'm feeling full after eating the leftovers from Christmas. Cold. I'm back in New York, so very, very cold.
Oh, geez, that sounds awful. How's Miz? Where is he at mentally right now with all of this that's happening? What are his thoughts? Surface thoughts, even.
Oh, Miz is incredibly bored. He's thinking, I was a bounty hunter back in the day, and now I'm finding twig blights that aren't really a challenge. And he's just like, I just want to get this over with. I just want to go back and become a slumlord like I was before.
Oh, so what you're saying is the stuff I'm throwing at you is not enough of a challenge?
Don't you dare.
That is Mrs. thinking.
Okay.
We're all gonna die now.
That's
Thanks.
fine. This is fine. I mean, fuck around and find out.
By this session.
I don't want to find out though.
It's fine. You're only down by 1 rogue. I'm only adding a few. Soul, how are you?
I'm good.
Where is Zaroka at with all of this? Because I know he's our little edgy boy. We love him. Where's he at mentally?
He is mentally a little peeved at the situation. Not at the current situation. He did miss that shot last time, and what Kaylin said actually got a little bit to him. So he's kind of a little bit angry right now. But he is going to make it up fighting this little blight thing that we got going on in here.
Sweet. So speaking of, everyone hit me with just a smidge of recap. What happened the last couple sessions? Just like, give me a couple sentences. Someone start us off. Earn that DM inspiration.
Hold on.
You don't have to be super specific.
Cool. We're in Direwood hunting baby dragons. And we're looking for a previous guild member, Haral, who disappeared, but was originally sent to figure out what on earth was going on.
To add on to that, we finally encountered a group of enemies, probably like an army of blights, and we disposed them. We're now moving into a cave to see where it leads to.
Continue on from when we last found the cave, when Zaroka found it and led the party to it. Besides us fighting blights, we found this. The last time we stopped off is we see this blight who looks a little bit different than the other ones. He looks a little bit more, shall I say, vicious. So he may pose the party a challenge in this coming episode. So we'll see how that fares.
Hell yeah. Everyone add on your 1 extra point of DM inspiration. For now, what we are going to say is our beloved Xander, played by Ian. Did I move the right token? Yeah. He is going to stay back and guard the entrance so that you don't get blocked in if more blights appear. So you're all standing in the entrance of this cave. Around you, that smell from outside, that almost acrid smell, it's a little bit thicker in here, like a fine mist just above the ground. But the further you step in, you also smell death. There's definitely the smell of decay coming from deeper within. You have kind of forward and to the north, from this little cavern that you're in. Once you step out of this big puddle, there is like another tunnel going off that way, and then off to the left. But the echoes of your footsteps and everything kind of suggest that the area off to your left might be a dead end, but you kind of see some movement from down there. What's everyone doing?
Zeroka's getting ready to blast the living hell out of this thing.
Caitlin, seeing this, will just immediately, don't miss.
Don't worry, I won't.
All right, so you're moving to the left.
Yo, I mean, we could see this guy right here.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see down there that there are definitely some blights. You see as you move a little bit closer, one of them seems to awaken a little bit. And this one is much bigger than just the twig blights. It looks less like a dead bush and more like a whole bunch of vines kind of peeling itself off of the wall. This one looks a little bit bigger, a little bit more humanoid almost, even though it looks kind of like a tangle of vines, but somehow humanoid. But you have no idea what its temperament is. What do you do?
Zeroka turns around and looks at Miz.
Slumlord, can you see?
No, I can only see what my torch goes up to. My lamp.
Well, get ready. It seems as though we have some enemies up ahead.
I just nod.
See, now that you have had the patience to wait a little longer, you can commence with the stabbing, Mr. Stabbyson.
If only I can see them.
Well, if push comes to shove, I will borrow your torch, and you could just stab the things around me.
Sounds like a plan.
So are you gonna seeing eye dog? Miz, is that what you're gonna be doing?
Uh,
To an extent?
yeah, basically that's kind of all he can do. He can only see what's really in front of him for like 30 feet. I think it's like 30, 60 feet.
I'm assuming we're going to start on the left.
I can't even see the enemies.
That's what I'm assuming. As Zeroka does see two blights on the left side of the cave. He kind of peers over and looks at Caitlin.
Should we start blasting?
I don't mind. I won't. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and start it off. Because why bother waiting? And at this, that is not a D20. She is going to prove a point. I'm assuming that is well within range of 120 feet.
And you
cool.
also
That is
see the bigger ones start to take a couple steps towards you.
cool. I'm going to safely assume blights are all bad, and so that is a 21 to hit.
Absolutely hits.
Woo! And that is an 8.
Oh, what'd you hit him with?
Oh, Eldritch Blast.
Oh, snap.
Oh yeah, no, we are Eldritch Blast. No, we are safely assuming. Like I said, we're assuming blights are bad. So she's just like, if we're gonna start it off, we may as well just start it off. She is a warlock, so pop. So she's going to take the short sword, and while she's actually like in the range of Mrs. Torch, you can actually kind of see like the dragon design on the hilt and the pommel as she slashes it down, and the blast just rockets through the darkness. I'm assuming lighting up bits and pieces of the area, and it's going to hit for a fancy 4.
4 HP. Yeah, so Miz is able to see like little bits and pieces, so you can see that there is line of sight towards this bigger blight that you can see. But that 4, unlike the twig blights, it kind of takes it in stride. Takes another step towards you, and the little twig blight is kind of right behind it on its heels like a little dog. This blight is a medium creature, and it is about 6 feet tall.
Oh, okay. This I do not believe this is going to be as easy as the last set was. So,
Well then, do we roll initiative or?
Would you like to roll initiative? I was gonna just let you roll some turns, or I didn't know if it was just 1 or 2 of you blast in. If you were gonna do the guide dog thing, like I was here for it.
I mean, Miz is just squinting in the darkness because he can't really see that well.
Okay. Let's just roll some initiative real quick here and get this popping off.
don't forget to select your token to drag it to the initiative tracker.
Thank you for that. I almost forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like, yeah, we can always manually add it into the tracker, but it's like if it's theoretically automatic, it's less annoying. Why didn't you go? Okay, minus 13. It's stupid. It's fine.
13 for Kaylin.
Oh,
All right,
that's why.
21 for Ms., 6 for Zaroka, and we've got a 13 also for the Blight, but he will go after Kaylin. All right, Ms., you are first up. This Blight, you're kind of able to see a little bit. He's just outside of your line of sight, so you would have to get a little bit closer. You can estimate somewhere between 40 and 60 feet away. You would have to move a little bit further,
All
a little
right.
bit closer. You are also free to pass off your torch and hold your lantern, and hold your turn until you have sight through Kaylin.
Miz now sees the blight, and he's going to pull out his short bow and attack it.
Okay. Give me that attack roll. Ooh, 14 does hit.
All right.
For that 7 piercing damage as you shoot it. And it hits it pretty square in the torso. Like it hit, even in the darkness while you're trying to juggle this lantern a little bit, it is a solid shot. And you probably weren't expecting it though. This blight, this tangle of vines that looks kind of human but not. The arrow stays in it, but you don't see any kind of blood. Like
Miz,
you're pretty sure it hurt it, but it's not showing signs of it.
all right. Miz sees this, and he's going to use his remaining movement speed to move back 10. Oh, that's the one. Move back 10 more feet in front of Caitlin, and he'll end his turn there.
All right, Kaylin, what you got?
Oh, righty. We're neat. So she is just going to. Okay. This is going to be fun. All right. And she is going to point at her head with the 2 fingers, a la Professor X, and just goes, "Get the headache, get the headache, get the headache, get the headache." And it's
What is this?
she's casting Mind Sliver.
Oh, okay.
Get a headache, get a headache, get a headache. There are verbal components, and that is the verbal component that I have chosen.
I'm not against this.
That's an intelligence saving throw of 14.
14. That is an 8 total
Aha!
saving throw.
So it takes a d6 of psychic damage, and that's a 5. And you subtract 1d4 for the next saving throw it makes before the end of my next turn.
For the next saving throw?
Mm-hmm. If
Okay.
it makes one.
if it makes one.
Mm-hmm.
You got it. You see it kind of jerk a little bit, and it's what would be its vine-like hands kind of grab its head for a moment, and you actually hear some kind of vocalization, like some kind of noise momentarily come from its mouth. Like it is humanoid enough that it is able to make sounds. And then that sound turns angry. Almost a growling sound as they seem to kind of zero in on your group even harder. Is that your
Fun
turn?
question. That is going to be her turn, as she is behind Ms. Theoretically with a hand open to take the lantern just in case he's. As she asks the party, does anybody know how to speak Sylvan by any chance?
Are you sure that these things speak that language?
It's a woodland creature type thing. It is a woodland creature type thing, so it might actually work. I don't know. It was a suggestion.
You want to talk to these things?
Why would you want to do that?
Miss, what if I said we don't always stab the first time? We agreed that I was allowed to talk things down theoretically. It was just a thought. You can get to the blasting. I'm not going to stop you. I was just asking question.
Weren't you the first one to shoot something off?
Do not point out the deficiencies in my arguments. I didn't realize you could theoretically talk.
Miz just kind of like looks back and gives her like a face like, what?
Zeroka then turns around.
If these things do talk, let's end it out of its misery.
Okay. It is now their turn, and you see the twig blight that was kind of on its heels is angry now. You just hurt its friend, so it is going to move 20 feet forward. I think it's 20 feet. Yeah. And it is common for your ankles. Eventually, they have a speed of 20, so he's not quite there yet. But you see him like angrily shaking his little twiggy fingers at you, and this bigger, more vine-like blight you see as it walks forward, kind of almost insect-like. All of the vines on its feet just kind of individually move and shift it forward. So its legs kind of look like it's moving forward, but it's really just many, many vines on the ground, just kind of slowly gliding it forward. And it is not a fast mode of propelling itself. So it has moved 10 feet closer, still not close enough to really do much, but it is Zeroka's turn now.
All right, Zeroka then looks and you guys start to see he starts charging up a bit. He's going to activate his Blade Song ability. So now he has an armor class of 20. He can move out to 50 feet. An advantage on acrobatics checks. He then rushes in at the oncoming blight. And he is going to target it. This one right here. And he is going to attack with his hold on. I believe Blade Song is a bonus action. So let me see. Yes, so it's a blade action. So I can only attack once this turn. So I'm just going to attack with Booming Blade. So let's see. All right.
An 11 unfortunately does not hit this twig blight. You swing, and all of this little twig blight's rage, it just ducks under it and just flattens itself much more than you thought it could.
All right. So I think I'm going to stay in front of the party because I think I would probably have the highest AC in this particular case. So yeah, I'm just going to stay exactly where I am.
That is totally fine. You are allowed to do that. Ms., we are back to the top of the initiative order. You've got Zeroka 15 feet in front of you. You are able to squeeze by kind of more on the north side of him if you would like to. You can kind of climb up on these rocks over here if you want to shoot anything past him. Or take one step north and you might be able to hit that vine blight.
All right. Miz then gets on top of the rock. I guess he'll climb on to the rock over here, and he's going to attack this vine monster, the blight in front of Zeroka.
Yeah, the
With a
little
short
twig
bow.
blight.
Yep.
Speedy little fucker. Oh, that's a
Oof.
natural one. That's embarrassing.
Oof.
You don't know what it is, but this twig blight is just built different. As two of you in a row have missed it. So this is not just one person. There is perhaps something different about this twig blight, as it just suddenly limbos backwards, just like crack, 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 as it leans back and then whips its head back up and looks over at Miz. Anything else on your turn?
That's it. Does a blight just like kind of puff his chest up like a cartoon character? Just gets a lot stronger.
Yeah, as it kind of raises one hand, you're pretty sure it's giving you like the twig version of a middle finger. Like I don't like to punish players on a nat 1, except maybe sometimes your pride. I feel like your pride can get a little wounded on those.
I like that. I like
As
that.
you are flipped off by this twig blight. Kaylin.
Kaylin is just going to. Really? Okay.
I want you to
and is
miss. I've never wanted a player to miss so bad.
right. Kaylin is just going to like kind of like try like just kind of get close enough to get a half decent angle. And she's going to Eldritch Blast from a distance, so she's still not in melee. I really hope for the purposes of this I don't miss either.
I've never rooted against a player until today.
I would like the record to show. I would like the record to show. I rolled a 10 plus 6 is 16.
You are the first one to be able to hit this twig blight as it tries to leap over it and do like a cool little split midair. How much damage do you deal?
7.
Yeah. Your Eldritch Blast goes slightly higher and you just explode it on contact. And now there are overconfident twigs all over the floor here, as it is shattered into 1,000 pieces. And you are left with just this bigger vine blight.
And Kaylin is just going to very confusedly look at the two of them like, what the fuck was that? Really? You know what? I'm going to let it go. Zeroka, good job. Teamwork. The bigger one is coming.
Yeah.
And she's going to take a single step back.
I feel like I missed an opportunity to make this twig blight actually different. All right. It is the vine blight's turn, and it is going to take another step forward, kind of getting right up in Zeroka's face. And what it is going to do is use its entangling plants. So, grasping roots and vines sprout in a 15-foot radius centered on the blight, withering away after 1 minute. For the duration, that area is difficult terrain for non-plant creatures. In addition, each creature of the blight's choice in that area when the plants appear must succeed on a DC 12 strength saving throw or become restrained. Creature
Is it hitting me since I'm flying?
Ooh, it's 15 feet radius, so that kind of seems like
It could go up, right?
Yeah, so it's like centered around it. Like I kind of imagine almost like shooting out from it, like its little vines dig into the ground, shoot out all around it for a 15-foot radius. So technically, all
everyone.
three of you are within that range. So I need
Fair enough.
everyone to make a DC 12 strength saving check.
Oof. No modifiers. Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Miz with the 14 passes. Zeroka with the natural 20 passes.
I rolled an 8.
We both look over at Kaylin.
As you get the tank pulled.
Yeah, the one that was just like, what is wrong with you, is now the one with something wrong with her, as she has become restrained in this. Like, she was looking at you, shrugging, and then suddenly all of these vines and entangling plants just reach up out of the ground and trap her. So
And
that is.
he promptly responds, "At least I can actually hit something, though."
Oh my god.
Soroka, it is your turn.
Yeah, so Zaroka then sighs and he looks and he's like,
I've had enough of your talking.
and he conjures up his you guys start to see a shadow blade start to form in his main hand as he sheaths his other offhand weapon that he had. I'm sorry, his main hand weapon previously, which was a short sword. And he conjures up a shadow blade. And for a bonus action, and now he's going to actually attack with the shadow blade. This blight right here.
Okay.
And he attacks with advantage because we are in dim light.
You sure are.
Yes.
Wait, nope. You're in bright light because of the lantern. The
torch is right
lantern
there.
sheds bright light for 30 feet.
Is it bright light? Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, bright light for 30 feet, and then I think dim light for a radius beyond that. If I'm not mistaken, I am saying that as I look at his lantern. 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. So you are in bright light. Oh no.
Okay.
You
So
can
what is it?
change if you want, because
Nope,
it's
no,
hard
it's all
to
good.
illuminate things perfectly on Roll20.
No, that's fine. So what I'm still gonna try to attack with it. So let's do it. Let's see if it hits. Oh, whoops, that's damage. Well, we'll keep that in there. But let's see. It doesn't have a attack roll for the shadow blade on D20, but I'll just attack with the short sword. It's supposed to be your it's a +6 basically. So
Okay. Yeah. It was 23.
right.
Its AC is not that high, so you hit it for
5 damage.
For 5 damage. You hit it, and you can see as you slice it, a handful of the vines, like you're able to cut through almost half of it. And you see it's taking damage, and a handful of those vines from its core, from its body, just kind of like peel off of it and flop to the
Sweet.
floor.
Nice. I'm going to move, if you would allow me to, right here to somewhat flank it off and gain its attention.
Yep, you are in difficult terrain,
Yes,
but that is within your half movement, so that is
Okay.
not a problem. And it kind of like creaks its head and turns it back to look at you, and just like this hoarse, whispery voice says, "You will die."
And Zorga then looks.
Pitiful creature. Miz, you know what to do.
It is
It kind of
Mrs.
nods. And I know it's rough terrain, but that's enough from up. God damn it.
Yep.
That's enough for me to move there. He's gonna be flanking this vine blight, so he'll attack with advantage.
Mhm.
He's gonna use a short sword of warning. No, I mean that counts too. And he's also gonna use a sneak attack, which that did not go through. I mean, actually, is this enough to kill her now?
You should probably still attack twice just in case you ever get a crit.
6 piercing, yeah. So 6, that is just above what you needed as far as damage goes. So you see, and you come in as soon as it's done saying the word "die." You slice its head off, and it kind of goes thunk, 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 and the vines kind of writhe in place for just a moment and wiggle and seem to just be searching for its head, and then they all just begin to slowly fall to the floor. And the plants that had restrained Kaylin and were making this difficult to walk through also slowly begin to wither and drop from around you, and you are no longer in combat.
Look back at Kay. Miz just looks back to Kay and is like, "You can move now. You're welcome."
Zeroka does the same thing and says to her,
You should thank your Mr. Stabby friend.
I will always thank my Mr. Stabby friend because Mr. Stabby always has my back, and I appreciate him greatly. I'm so glad that the two of you could, take out such a difficult creature. Um, for the record, when we tell this story later, that didn't happen. Okay, so what was in this cave?
Zerka then
Yeah.
looks back
Oh, go ahead.
and he says,
I think I see some of those mushrooms, I believe, in the far corner.
Yeah, it looks like a whole bunch of weird ass mushrooms, and unfortunately, the one most familiar with Direwood, who might be able to identify these, has stayed at the opening of the cave to watch your backs. But it's a bunch of weird looking mushrooms none of you have ever seen before. Not that any of you are rangers or druids, but
If there's mushrooms, are there going to be snakes and badgers?
you see a little hole, and you're pretty sure, just barely glinting off of the lantern light, you think you might see just the flick of a forked tongue for just a moment. You don't see any badgers, but perhaps. What's your next move?
uh, hmm. Did the smell of death get stronger as we came down this pathway?
No, and you see this is just kind of like a loop around with a bunch of mushrooms that have collected from the moisture in this corner. But the smell of death has not gotten any stronger. It hasn't really lessened. It seems like the smell is kind of permeated through a lot of the cave. But you're pretty sure it's coming from back over and to the north.
Huh. Well, unless we want to go digging up mushrooms, and I have many vices, that is not one of them. Shall we go try the other side and keep going?
I concur. Let us move on.
Mitch just nods in agreement.
Okay. As you all kind of head back over and go a little bit further north, as you start going up that little tunnel area, you see curves around to the left, kind of keeping your line of sight pretty close. You definitely smell death. You don't hear anything immediately. You're not sure if there's anything beyond, but it definitely smells like death. Keep moving forward, I'm assuming.
Very, very carefully, but yes.
Uh, who's taking the lead here? Because all of your tokens are kind of not entering that tunnel yet.
I'll do it.
Everybody's staying back.
Well, Miz has to stay back because he can't really see without the lantern. Everyone else has dark vision. He doesn't.
That is fair. As Kaylin takes the lead here, she kind of sees it branches off after this little turn. And you see just barely through this right turn that curves back north, there's another little cavern. It looks small, but you see more of those weird mushrooms. And then down, what is your line of sight? You can kind of see and smell for sure death emanating from down and to your left. And you can kind of see what looks like a disgusting little pool of water.
I am worried for whatever is stinking up the place, so to speak. So to this one, and she's going to do 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 do.
You step in, and unfortunately, you find the source of what smells so bad. You see a disgusting looking large puddle that looks like all the moisture has dripped from the accumulation of muck and moisture on the walls, and kind of over time formed this little puddle of just gross on the ground. But the main source of the smell is the dead body, or really what's left of it, sticking half out of this puddle. In the mud and muck around it, you also see a handful of little claw prints that may or may not match what you've seen elsewhere. Um, Looks like they could very well be the claws that left marks on the fence back at McDonald's farm. But now you see evidence that there's multiple little paw prints, claw prints, whatever you want to call them. And they appear to have been going to and from this dead body over here. Just from at a glance, you're like 20 feet away. You can see still has a little bit of armor on him, about the size of an adult male. He has been picked mostly clean, like edible meat off of him. Some animal or animals have scavenged pretty much all the edible meat from him. It is a gross
Investigation
sight.
check.
Are you going to get any closer?
Yes, give me a second. Had to find a good shiny math rock. And she's going to inch around the pool. Ew, 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 ew.
Oh yeah, you just hear it like squelching under your boots, and it is just
Why are
nasty.
you like this?
All the
Ugh.
muck.
Making
Yeah.
it realistic. I don't know if you've ever trudged around like lakes and stuff much, but it's nasty.
No, because it's a body of water and we don't trust those. I'm not afraid to swim. What are you talking about? That's going to be a 16.
Yeah. So upon closer inspection, it's difficult to tell how long this body has been here, but long enough to smell bad. Judging from the tusks coming up from the lower jaw, the little tusks, it's pretty easy to tell this was indeed a half-orc. The remains of his armor that have been it's been torn and kind of unceremoniously chucked to the side. You can tell he was probably some kind of adventurer, though you notice a lack of belt that would hold any swords. If he was an adventurer from the guild, probably he would have his emblem on the belt, and you notice it is very much gone. And you see with a 16, you notice one of his belt loops has been completely torn off of his pants. So it looks like whatever these little claws are. And also judging from a little bit of like a drag spot, like a little line in the muck, looks like somebody dragged away his belt and whatever was on it.
Kaylin is going to point this out to our compatriots. I do believe we have found Haral, which is unfortunate. But we can now confirm that there is more than one, but I think less than 5? Maybe? I don't know. I'm not the tracker. Of whatever it is that is causing this. But whatever it is that did this is probably more intelligent than we think, because his belt is gone, including the thing that would help us identify him. So,
Well, whatever it is, we should kill it before it does any more damage.
probably. So, I guess back out to the other side and see if we can find whatever did this and avenge our fallen compatriot.
I agree. Let us move on.
All right.
Stabbing.
As you continue to move forward, you're all now on the lookout for anything that looks like dead bushes, and you absolutely see among these mushrooms, and some of them in this little chamber much bigger, and kind of stepping up and around from behind one of them is a different kind of blight than you have seen before. This one seems to be covered in thorns. A little bit more humanoid than the twig blights, but looks less probably intelligent than the vine blight that you saw. But this guy is a spiky motherfucker, is probably the best way to describe him.
I think this is the one we fought outside, isn't it? We fought a needle one.
Oh, did you already
outside.
fight one? That sounds
Mhm.
right. Yes, you did already fight a needle blight. You're right. I forgot I threw that at you.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Abby, we're paying attention.
How dare you pay attention to my campaign that I've worked for years on? Yeah, so you got 2 twig blights kind of up and on your right, and then a needle blight up and on your left. Zaroka looks like he has taken the lead. It's up to you what you want to do.
Oh, we're gonna stab it. Absolutely.
Stabby, stabby, boom, boom.
All right. So, are we rolling initiative or are we just jumping in there? Because
Do you
Zeroka's
want?
already stabbing.
Yeah, if you're already stabbing, you can go, and we can just kind of go in the
Oh,
order
yeah.
that your marching order, more or less, and then I'll have the
All
blights
right.
go at the end.
Okay, so you're doing pretty much what we did that for the first part, like in our campaign, right? Like,
Yeah, basically.
yeah. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna jump in there, and I'm going to try to hit this one right here, and I'm taking out both of my short swords, so I'm a dual wield in this particular scenario. So
Hell yeah, double fist
there
those
you go.
babies.
Let's do it.
No, it's not.
19.
Oh yeah, absolutely hits.
That's 8 points of damage for the first hit. And then he takes out his other one and tries to cut it, slims off. What a 13 hit.
13 does hit.
Ooh, solid. And that's going to be, what's it called? Oh, give me 1 second. It's a 1d6. So I'm trying to see without adding the modifier. Let me just see what it is. So it's just a 5. It's just a 5 without the modifier.
Okay, and that is enough. Fortunately for you, as this shambling humanoid pile of thorns and needles starts moving towards you, it barely steps over the giant mushroom that it was kind of standing behind before you just hack and slash it down, like cut it through the middle, and while it's trying to like figure out what's happening, its head is off and it just kind of falls
Solid.
into 3 chunks.
All right. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to move slightly over with the rest of my remaining speed. And then I'm going to call out the teammates.
Pull out your blades. More of these things.
Right. Kaylin, you are kind of next right there by default because of the marching order.
Cool. Kaylin is going to. Oh, there are more of these things. Neat. She is going to. You know what? I haven't done this yet. 5, 10, 15. She's going to step over here, and melee range is going to attack it with the sword because it's a sharp pointy
Ooh.
object.
Mixing it up, going in with the sword attack. I'm here for it. What you got?
Get you a girl who can do both.
Hell yeah.
That is going to be 19.
Absolutely. These are fucking twig blights.
Cool. And that's going to be, what is math? 9 points of damage, as I assume she just, with a flourish, just comes in and just cuts off his head. No fuss, no muss, just.
Yeah, you now have a pile of twigs that would be very, very difficult to fish out from in between all of these large and weird looking mushrooms. Anything else?
Sometimes the stabby part is more fun than I would remember. Miz, come join me in the.
Yeah.
But they Miz, come join me in the stabbing.
I guess it's my turn
Do it.
now.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. He's going to go up to the blight, last blight he sees. He's going to pull out one of his short swords and attack him. Short sword of warning. Oof. Big oofs. It was a 10 hit.
10 does not hit, unfortunately. As this twig blight kind of ducks around, and one of these mushrooms that gets in the way, it kind of blocks with it almost, and you realize these are sturdy little mushrooms. You weren't quite ready for it to dodge like that. These are some speedy little twigs. Anything else?
Using my offhand, I'm gonna use the other short sword in my hand to attack one more time.
Yep. We got 2 people double fisting it.
Yes.
The 14, yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, so without the modifier still, yeah. That's a 5, so it only has 4 HP. You knock this little fucker out. You kind of like slash at it, and this time there's no mushroom to save it. The end. Good job. You solved my mushroom puzzle. The answer was violence.
It's always
See,
violence.
Don't say it like that, because I'm gonna assume.
Not always violence, but
Usually.
a lot of the time.
Well, to Miz, it's always violence. The answer is
Okay.
always violence.
There will be actual puzzles, I promise, But for now, violence is the answer for a lot of these situations. Yep, there's no more in this area. Just kind of like some of these mushrooms are a lot bigger in this spot. And you do know that as you're kind of moving away, the smell of death does seem to be lessening, and it does not seem like there are other corpses stinking up this cave that you can tell right now. Haral is the source of the death. But it does still smell pretty bad in here, mixed with the acrid kind of scent of whatever this is hovering just above the ground. It's fog. Okay. Kaylin
Cool.
moving forward.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can see kind of as you move forward, it splits into two, and kind of to your left, it definitely looks like there is more cave. Up and to your right, it looks like it's another little loop-de-loop kind of thing, almost like the map maker wanted the DM to put something there, but I, in fact, did not.
Is that your way of saying we shouldn't bother going down that side?
I'm saving you some time. I did not want to put 5,000 twig blights in here. Do you want me to put 5,000 twig blights in here? I can put twig blights in every nook and cranny if you want. I can do it right this moment. I
Well,
got
are we gonna get individual points of experience for every one of their deaths, or are we on
this is
milestone?
milestone.
Yeah,
This
if we
is
don't need to,
milestone.
if we don't need to murder,
Technically, you don't need to murder because with this campaign I need you to be at certain levels for certain missions, so you're going to level up faster than any other campaign you've ever played in, regardless of how many KOs. So unfortunately, if you avoid all combat, which I highly doubt you will, just knowing you all, you still end up
what you
leveling
trying
up
to say? What you
because I
trying to
need you
say?
to
You
not
saying
die.
are you saying I'm violent? Are you saying there's violent inherent in the system?
I'm saying my nickname for your group in my head is the Stab Brigade, and that's not really something that screams nonviolent to me. But yeah, so I'm
Okay,
assuming you move
fine.
forward and to the left because there's literally nothing to the right.
Okay, fine. So with the keen senses of believing in my metaphorical god, it's like, oh, there's no reason to go down this side.
You don't have to fight me on this. I swear I'm not trying to. You know what? Move your token around there, and you'll see there's nothing. You can move your token over there. Just
I
boop,
was
boop, boop.
taking your word for it. I was going to
Yeah.
the left.
You do see over here to kind of at the corner of this little junction, it looks like there is another cavern that was blocked off to not distract you because there was also nothing there. This map had
No.
some elements that I needed, and the rest of it was just too much. Okay.
So you see, I can appreciate this because it's like, cool. There's nothing there you need to worry about. Keep going. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I will never tell you something like this and be like, psych, and have something pop out at you. It will be
Yeah,
obvious.
we call those war crimes.
Yes. I've only done a few of those. You do see up ahead, the incline of the floor kind of goes up a little bit to the left, and you see two more needle blights. Kaylin, you are in the lead. What is your plan here?
I would never remove the opportunity for Miz to do a stabbing on something he's actually allowed to stab. So she's just gonna Eldritch blast it. God, why are words hard? That is going to be a 12.
A 12 on the needle blight. Exactly what you needed.
Woo!
On that first one of two.
Away. Oh. I'm about to go into my thing. It's like, oh, I need a no, dummy. The dice is right next to you because you just left it out. A grand total of 7 points of damage.
The damage hits it, and you see like a whole bunch of thorns just kind of go flying off of its side, and it makes this weird shrieking, groaning, clicking sound, but it's still alive. Anything
Cool.
else?
Miz, my friend, I left something for you to stab.
Ms. or Zeroka, who wants to charge ahead?
Would you want to
Miz,
take?
sure, I'll do it. Miz is gonna charge up ahead and attack this one with sneak attack since he's within 5 feet of that enemy, that other one. So, blight. One.
I
Wait,
thought
so
you
if you
had
have
to
5 feet,
have
you have to have an ally next
you
to
have to have
you.
an ally, not an enemy.
Ah, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
I know
say
my rogue shit.
I should have moved closer. My bad, dude.
Oh, no, that's cool. I'll pull out my short sword of warning.
Yeah. What was the first one from the last round? So is the 14 and the 20?
It's a 20 and the 8.
20 with 8 damage. Yeah.
Yep.
That one just fucking annihilated. You just go whoosha and stab, and it just falls apart. But there's one left, kind of on its northwest corner. Anything else?
Miz is thinking Sharon is Karen, so he's gonna back off and let Zaroka have the last one.
Aw, teamwork makes the dream work. All right, Zeroka.
You mean
Sorry,
Team
gives out a
murder?
sigh. Go up.
I'm here for it.
And I say, like, Zeroka looks up and he goes up to the next blight and he says,
Well, you could have at least stood next to it for advantage on the next attack.
Didn't want to make it easy for you. I want to give you a challenge.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
and he tries to stab it with 2 short swords.
All right, give me
All
some
right,
rolls.
so let's see.
16 hits
First one,
for
7 points of damage. And
Yep.
the next one,
17 hits
for 2 points of damage.
for 2 points of damage. Unfortunately, it is still up.
So then Zeroka looks, and since he has mobile, he looks at Miz and says,
How about you take care of this one?
So quick thing. I'm reading sneak attack, and it says that if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet, which is the
"That's
ally
an
ship.
enemy of a target."
Yeah.
I'm retarded. Yeah, no, never mind.
You know,
Never mind.
Two blights are kind of bros over there, unfortunately.
Never mind.
Throwing
Never
it up.
mind. It's just a long night. I'm just bad reading.
They're cut from the same vine. Yeah, Miz, do you want to finish off this last one? Tell me how you finish it. You're right there.
Sure, why not? I'm gonna just step on the pile of broken needle blight bones, and Miz is gonna pull out his short sword of warning and attack.
Bam. Yeah. The 21 and then another 7 piercing damage. This thing also, it makes one last little clicking, hissing sound, and it shatters. And as it shatters, make a perception check, everyone, please.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Sweet.
Oh no! Natural 20.
So 20.
Dang! We got a
Yeah,
dirty,
dirty
20
20.
from Zeroka. Come on, Miz.
I got a 10.
Oof. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Zeroka and Kaylin, you hear from deeper within, what sounds like little claws almost skittering on stone. And it's hard to tell how many of them, Kaylin. You're pretty sure there's more than 2 claws, like little sets. It's pretty distant, pretty quiet, down much farther in this tunnel that kind of branches off to the right of where Miz is standing. But you both know that there's definitely something there. Unfortunately, some of the needle blights, their bodies are kind of shifting around Miz, and you don't quite hear what is catching their attention. But Zeroka and Kaylin, you both heard something is alive back there, and it doesn't sound quite like the blights.
Zeroka then turns to Kaylin and he's like,
Do you hear that?
Yes. I think I couldn't count how many. Could you?
No. I don't like the sound of that.
Neither do I. So, Mr. Stabby, and she'll pat him on the shoulder as she passes by.
and I'm just looking around like, what? What'd you guys hear?
Claws. We're probably coming up to whatever it is that helped our compatriot remove himself from the mortal coil. So, let us go say hello.
Zeroka then looks and he's like,
I agree. Let's end this quickly.
and he's actually right now going to draw out his blade of his shadow blade.
Okay. Yeah, you keep going deeper and deeper into this tunnel.
Phrasing?
You don't really see too much as you are proceeding along. You get a little bit deeper though, and you hear a faint whooshing sound. Zeroka's kind of taken the lead on this, so he hears it first, and it's beginning to get louder, especially as you get closer to this kind of corner that you can't see much around over here. And you two begin to hear it, but Zeroka is probably the first one to hear and then also see it looks like there is another. Well, you hear that it is a waterfall, but you don't quite see it yet, but you kind of see a little bit of water further down. And you also see two more vine blights. This cavern kind of opens up into almost an 8 type shape. And then there is on the bottom right, you see a bunch of rocks they would be difficult for you to climb maybe that go pretty high. Zeroka, you are able to fly, but for just a moment you think you see movement at the very top as you hear additional claws skittering. But you also see these two vine or did I put 3? You were talking shit. I put 3 down there.
2.
There's 3 vine blights down there. And they all at the same time turn as you get within their line of sight and start to slowly shamble towards you. And you hear one of them, like, you're able to hear it. I don't think everyone else hears it yet, but it just hoarsely whispers, "Protect." What do? You've got 3 vine blights shambling towards you. Very
Zeroka then
slowly.
quickly looks back.
Get ready for some more stabbing. And they keep uttering some type of... I don't understand them at all. Let's put them out of their misery.
And Zeroka's going to start rushing in. So, are we going to do initiative?
Yep, absolutely. We're going to do regular
All
old
right.
initiative for this because I'm throwing 3 vine blights at my shit talkers.
Excuse me, don't put me in this.
Let's see here.
I just so happened to be here, okay? I am in the class. I was not the troublemaker. My head was down. I was doing my work. I didn't talk smack. I should not be punished for this.
You know what? It's too late. It's too late. I did it. I added them. Okay, we got 17 for Kaylin, 8 for Zeroka, 27 for Miz. Ooh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy. And then we've got a whopping 6 for my little blighty boys down here. I'm going to give them different colors to differentiate them. So down and to the left, we've got red. Just to the right of him, we got a blue, and just one back and to the right, we've got a green. Ms. with that 27, while you're at the back of the pack right now, you've got the highest initiative. So, what you got?
Miz cannot see the enemies yet, so we'll just start moving
Absolutely not.
next to Soroka. And how much feet did I just move? Was that it's 15 feet? Okay. He is going to go after the Neo Blight that is blue, the blue dot.
Okay, that middle
And
one.
and he is going to pull out his short bow and attack him.
All right.
Does an 11 hit?
On my vine blights, no.
All right.
Blue boy, it just kind of goes through a gap in its vines that kind of go shroop, shroop.
He's gonna back up 5 feet back and in his turn.
All right. Kaylin.
I don't know whether or not to be very impressed at that shot or very saddened. And he's going to actually, you know what? Just to make it fun. Get a headache, get a headache, get a headache, get a headache. He's going to cast Mind Sliver again.
All right. On
and is going to attack him. Mm-hmm. Red happens
All
to
right.
be first. So Red can get fucked up first.
Is that a save?
Yes, intelligence 14.
Not great. That's a 10.
Fantastic.
All right.
Grand total of 6 points. It's a rune dice, so the 6 is a rune. I was like, wait a minute, what is that? Yeah, so 6 points of damage. And has a negative D4 to if a saving throw happens before my next turn.
Alrighty.
I set him up. Y'all knock him down.
Zeroka, what you doing to knock
All
him down?
right. Zeroka is literally going to move up to the one that attacked, Kaylin attacked, and he is going to attack once with his short sword and then the next with the shadow blade. So let's see if the short sword hits.
25 absolutely hits.
9 points of damage. Is it
9 points on this boy?
Is that enough to kill it?
No.
Okay, awesome.
These are the big vine boys. And it just looks you in the eye with its just hollow. They don't even look really like eyes, but it seems to be focusing on you, and it just says, "Ow."
Oh god. So after he does that, he is going to actually activate should he activate Blade Song? Should I just try to kill this thing? He's actually gonna attack with his Shadow Blade and try to kill this thing really quick, see what he can do. So let's see. There's a 12 hit.
12 just hits.
Ooh, nice. So let's see, that'll be 10 points of damage.
All right. Let me see.
It's the Shadow Blade.
Yeah, with the Shadow Blade. So you see a whole bunch of vines start falling from him, and one of his arms looks completely gone, and more of the vines start looking like they're going to start sloughing off, but it has just enough life left in him to stay upright.
Ooh. All right. So I'm going to move.
It is almost dead.
All right. So I think I'm going to do for my next action. I got. Let's see. So I moved. It's right next to Miz. So it was 25 feet to move up, and I have 15 feet left. So I'm going to move back a little bit.
You're going to get an attack of opportunity from Blue.
I have mobile.
That is against creatures that you have made a melee attack against.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot about this guy right here.
Yeah. Bluey. Good old Bluey.
Good old Bluey.
Bluey Kazooie.
How high is this cave?
This ceiling, it does go up about 20 feet, but you were close enough to attack Red, so you were close enough to get attacked by Blue. You also haven't really tested their range.
I have not. All right, yeah, I'm just gonna prepare. I'm just gonna actually just sit here and just wait and see what happens.
Okay. Fuck around, find out. That's exactly what happens as Bluey, now that it is their turn, activates its entangling plants. So I do need you to make that DC 12 strength saving throw as it kind of like smacks the ground and a whole bunch of plants shoot out from it.
Ooh. 10.
That's a 10. You weren't quite quick enough and strong enough to break free, and one of the plants wraps around one ankle and then the other and is not letting go. And the red one that you had been attacking looks towards you and just says, "Ow!" And it is going to once again. I don't think an 11 hits you though, as it kind of flings more vines at you.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah, its little one arm just flings some vines, and they just kind of You just shift a little bit
Shift a little-
out of the way.
and start looking. I'm like,
You're gonna have to try better than that, twig boy.
Well, if he's restrained, you have advantage on him.
yes, that is correct.
This is true. Look at you. Well, that's an 8, so it didn't matter. Red boy is not doing great. Green boy is going to take a step back, so he's kind of now diagonally back from red. And unfortunately, now you do get to test the range on their vines. It is, in fact, more than 5 feet, as it tries to hit you with its constrict attack. Even before advantage, that was a 19.
I'm gonna show up shield. So now I have 21
Ooh.
AC.
Okay. Well, it had a 19 and a 12 with advantage. So you are not hit as this kind of like bounces off of this magical shield. And it looks very confused, like it has never seen anything like this. And it just says, protect.
And Zeroka looks at it.
Protect. Don't push your luck.
They look at you and they just look kind of almost confused, if plants could be confused. But it's now Mrs. turn.
Freya, you said 15 feet is the range of that vine attack that tests difficult terrain.
It sure is. Let me see if I can draw a
So,
lovely little circle.
Wait,
from
Abby,
here to
you
there.
attacked with the blue one as well?
The blue one did the entangling vines.
Ah, that's right. That's right. Okay, gotcha.
Let me make a rough here, something like this.
Okay. Let me see. How much did I have? 30. Ooh. So 10, 20, 30. Ooh. Miz is gonna move up to right here, and he is going to pull out his short bow and attack Louis.
Yep.
Oh, that was not supposed to be there. Oh, wait, actually, it is. Wait, no, it's
Yeah.
not. No, it's not. Is it?
The sneak attack? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, wait, hold on. Is it if he is incapacitated? That enemy.
Am I incapacitated?
You are not
I thought I was just
incapacitated. Yeah.
restrained.
Restrained doesn't count. So they were, I mean, what it is they're focusing on someone besides you, and that's why it's a sneaky attack. So yeah, you get that sneak attack. So that is 15 damage against Bluey, who is being kind of a bastard, if we're being honest.
Yes, he is.
So yeah. You hit him for 15 damage as this arrow just pierces through its chest. Not you kind of were shooting for the heart, and you realize as it kind of pierces that area, it's a bunch of plants. You're not sure it actually has organs. So solid hit though.
Miz is then going to move here, move back a little bit, and end his turn.
All right, Kaylin, what you got?
Kaylin is going to. Oh wait, that's rough terrain. Damn it. So she is going to get as close as she can, which is not that tool. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Cool. That's as far as she can get. Because difficult terrain and stuff. Huzzah.
So
And
you're
is still go. Bluey's a little shit, but has Blue already been attacked this?
Yep. Miz
Cool.
hit him for 15.
She is going to continue the train. Not like that. And hit him with the Eldritch Blast.
Not sure why you needed to get that close to fire off an Eldritch Blast, but okay.
Well, no, because I'm going to pull. She's going to start using the sword after this, but she wanted to get close enough to actually do that.
Okay.
That is 19.
19 hits.
And we're going to add 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. Bluey the bastard is still up, but he is looking worse for the wear here.
Girl, why?
Someone talked shit. Blame them, not me. Shit. Don't get mad at me.
Oh,
They have a lot
I
of
forgot
HP.
Oh, I forgot I can do all of this stuff.
Or did you just now look at your character sheet again?
Yep. No, because amongst other things, I have a teleport up to 30 feet, which would have gotten me in melee range, and I have hex. But so bonus action, we're gonna use hex. Cool.
Okay.
So until
On
it ends,
bluey or green guy that hasn't really taken any damage yet?
we're gonna do it on green guy who hasn't done any damage yet, so that way, I can have fun with it later. So whoops. This is my first time actually getting to
It's
be
an
a
auto
warlock.
hex, right?
No,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just something that hits him, and then if I hit him with an attack, he takes extra damage.
Alrighty. He has been hexed. I've put a symbol on him.
Hex blurred.
Hexed.
Yes.
If I ever beat any of you, I'm going to stab you. That sound was horrible.
All right. Zaroka.
All right. So I am still restrained. So for my first action, I'm gonna try to break out. Let's do a strength, and I am still restrained.
are
For my
still
bonus
restrained.
action, I'm gonna activate. Let's see. Should I?
Yes.
I think I'm good for now. I'm not going to activate Blade Song for my bonus action. I'll still try to hold on and because I still got some temp HP just in case I do get hit. So yep, I'm just going to end my action. That's it.
Okay. Alrighty. It is the Blight's turn. The red guy still got his eyes on Zaroka. Gonna try again to hit him. Does a 22 hit?
A 22 does hit.
22. So, you are now constricted. You take 6 bludgeoning damage. And you are now double grappled.
Okay. All right.
The
So
good news is its entire hand is now full, so it can't really grapple anyone or anything else.
all right. That
This
is
one
all
is
my temp HP.
Yep. I forgot you'd be just totally fucking fine. It's okay. Bluey is gonna step forward just a little bit and no, actually he doesn't need to. He does not step forward because he's gonna whip out some vines at Kaylin from where he is with his more than 5-foot range and does an 18 hit.
It will. Why do you do these things to me when you know I'm going to make a smart comment?
Because you got within its range.
Cool.
Blame the DM. Why, DM? Why?
You've played for me before. You know how I am. You also take 10 bludgeoning damage, and you are restrained.
Damn, what kind of blame is that?
Okay. Well,
I'm using the auto roller.
Number one, I rolled a natural 20 for my concentration check, so I don't drop hex. However, I am going to now cast Hellish Rebuke as a fuck you, buddy.
Do it.
Because all I have to do is point a finger and it's just like, so yep, make a dex saving throw.
Oh boy.
14.
I can screenshot it from the roller if you want, but that's a natural 20. For a 19. For a 19, for a 19, they're not very
fine.
dexterous.
It's fine. It still takes half damage even on a successful save. So.
All right, what's that half damage?
It's going to be 6 points of damage.
You only needed 5 to kill it. So it goes down, and the entangling plants around it also go down. The one that you have hexed does take another step forward, and it is going to activate its entangling plants because it is also a fucking bastard.
Oh, bitch.
So that circle comes right back. Can I just hit Control Z? There we go. Circle comes right back, centered around it instead. So I need both of you to make me another DC 10.
I believe I
Or
automatically fail because since
Yep.
I'm restricted.
You are double restricted. You were beginning to like
fucking
lose
beans.
sight of the lower half of Zeroka. Like you cannot tell where his feet are among the plants.
Is this a strength saving throw or a dex
Yeah,
saving throw?
DC 12 strength save.
Okay.
As these plants just shoot up from the
It's a
ground so
save?
fast.
It's not
you
a
can't
check?
really- It is a saving throw.
Cool. 13.
fuck? I've
I
been running-
literally
I've been-
just made it.
Just
I've been
made
like, I literally have been using. Well, it doesn't matter. That would be an 11 anyway. So you need a 12, right? Yeah.
Correct.
That's really good.
I mean, the good news is that kind of just keeps you there. It doesn't actually deal any damage. Miz, it's your turn.
Miz with his short bow, he's just kind of looking as everyone's being restrained. He's like, well, sucks to be them. And he's gonna just kind of not move, stay put, and attack the greenie over here. The green blight. With his short bow.
Big green. Take him down.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oh, no sneak attack. Just ignore that because
Yep.
there's no one next one. Yeah.
Yeah, you got 22 hits for that 6 piercing damage, and Big Green takes his first hit. And you also hear him as it kind of like plunks into his chest. Ow!
And Miz just starts whistling and then kind of puts his bow down and just ends his turn.
Kaylin, what you got for me?
My time has come. So, Caitlin is going to walk forward, get into this thing's face, and proceed with the stabbing.
You could say it's time for some weed whacking.
I quit.
That's the face I was looking for. It gives me life. Let's go. Come on. Give me some.
It is the only reason I turned my camera on. It is the only reason I turned my camera
No,
on.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I've been looking forward to it. We didn't get to play last week, so I'm like, I didn't get to see Kio's face when I hit the puns.
So that's going to be math is hard. 23.
That hits.
Yep. Let's see. So that's an extra D6 if I can find one. Cool. What is my? There we go. Math is hard. All right, that is going to be 15 points of damage.
Yeah. Big Green just looks at you and it just says, "Ow!" That's all it says.
That's fine.
Anything else on your turn?
Nope, that's all she's got. She's just gonna
Zeroka,
be
what
here
you got?
in its face.
I don't think I can do anything. Particular case.
I mean, you're restrained, but you can still technically attack and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you. Oh.
It just means your speed. It just means your speed.
Oh
is
wait,
zero.
is it at disadvantage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you're all disadvantaged
says-
when you're restrained.
Yeah, you're just restrained. It's disadvantage, I believe. That's it.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, fuck this guy. I'm gonna like cast magic missile on him. This one right here.
Big Red?
Yeah, and I am I'm a little I'm just gonna cast magic missile.
Yeah, he's got
Big
1 HP left.
Yeah,
Spoiler alert.
I just literally I hit him for 9 points of damage.
Oh,
yeah,
wait.
he had 1 HP left.
Yep.
Well, technically,
So-
you have 3 bolts of magic missile. Can you like carry over the other ones to different
I
targets?
could, but that's a little metagaming because I didn't know he had, 1 HP
Well,
left.
I mean, he starts to disintegrate as you
Yeah.
reach back and throw the first one, and as you're pulling back the second one, you're seeing all of the vines kind of just peel downwards like a banana peel from around him.
All right, so I'm going to use the rest of the other ones to attack this guy for 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. You only needed 5 to kill this vine blight
Solid.
over here as he goes down. As he goes down, you hear from up top These as the all of the vines and the plants and everything that had sprouted up, and the last few of these vines from these vine blights just kind of wither and plop to the ground. Not revealing any kind of core or anything on the inside, makes you wonder what exactly was animating or powering these blights. You hear just a little bit more skittering, and from the faint glint, you see just a little reflection of something just for a moment at the top of the rocks, and it looks like the lantern light, just the very edge of it, caught the reflection of an eye up there before it moved away out of your sight. What would you like to do?
Kaylin is going to make a very educated guess and say in Draconic, we are not here to hurt you, little ones.
Zeroka turns around.
What is she saying?
I'm gonna say Draconic is kind of a gimme for everyone in the realms because it would.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a gimme language because everyone would be taught it because this was a world created by and for dragons, and it would have been in the education system, and pretty much everyone would speak it alongside common.
Okay.
Yeah.
He then Zeroka actually looks at Kaylin and he says,
I think those things, they were talking to me, and I think they wanted to protect something. It sounded like it was trying to mutter, protect.
Hence why I'm making an educated guess. If we were actually here for a theoretical dragon sighting, and we keep hearing the little pitter patter of claws, I'm just making an educated guess. Is it? And she'll just not realizing that she's been speaking Draconic the entire time. She's just gonna poke her head back, look up. Can you come down? We are not trying to harm you. And as she says that, she'll dismiss her sword.
and once she's doing that, Zeroka is gonna actually like fly up a little bit. Can he see it?
What you do see at the top is a tiny little offshoot, this little bitty tunnel, kind of near the very top of this stack of rocks, where it kind of goes up almost into pillars in a way. And you see in this little passage, the size of maybe a small dog door, the tip of a very dark, almost lizard-like tail, as whatever it's attached to goes up and into this tunnel. And that's where we're going to end this part of the session.
Hey guys, back with those pizzas. Oh man.
Actually, I think I'm going to start with everyone doing a perception check, please.
Oof.
15.
So we got a 12 for Ms., 15 for Kaylin, 17 for Zeroka. Zeroka is up higher because he is still using his flying boots. He hears it first. That faint skittering sound, as you're kind of looking up, you hear it from more than one source now. Like the waterfall that is kind of down a little bit further from you. It's not the loudest waterfall, but it is disguising a lot of sound in here. And you're now realizing there's a lot of little gaps in the ceiling that would be perfect for small creatures to zip through were they able to climb and or fly. A lot of little escape places, and now you are hearing, and then I think Kaylin begins to notice skittering sounds through the ceiling.
Do they sound like they're coming at us?
No, it's kind of like a little bit of a skitter, assess where it or they are, and then a little bit more. And it sounds like they're, if it, you hear enough that you're not sure if it's more than one, you're pretty sure it's more than one. You're not sure how interconnected all of the little tunnels are, but at least one creature. But
so Zeroka looks. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, nothing is flying at you. There's no rocks falling, anything like that so far.
Zeroka then looks at Kaylin and Miz, and he's like,
Damn it. Where is that Xander? We need his little squirrel familiar.
Oh, he's the one who does have it.
No.
Do you hear that, Miss Kayla?
Mhm.
Any
We do.
suggestions?
Be not threatening. Ooh, hold on. Sorry. Be not threatening.
That's kind of hard for me. I don't
I
take well to not being threatening. But
I know this is something that is going to be a learning experience for you, but
let's hope so.
uh unfortunately, woo, switching accents. Unfortunately, I cannot help you from down here. So you can wait, creatures, animals, food. Give it, bribe it with food. Like leave
You
like
know,
leave some food out and see if it'll come to you.
Zaroka looks and he's like,
You know, I could carry you.
She looks up at him, and
and
the
he's
look
like,
on her face is
I won't drop you. Trust me.
and he starts
insight check.
smirking a bit. And he starts smirking.
And she goes, believe me, when my feet leave the ground, it is not the man who is doing it. So no. But no, just bribe it with food.
Understand.
Like put some food out.
Do you have any
See if it-
food? I don't have any rations on me.
How do you not have? And so
Everyone should have rations.
she has the remnants of what was a home cooked meal. And it's got a little bit of actual like proper good jerky in it, and she just like kind of holds it out to him like, try this.
Funny enough, when you choose the wizard, like they don't have a pack of rations actually. Like they have a book and an ink pen, a bag of sand, a parchment, and a small knife.
Wizards don't need to eat; they just need
They're just reading. They're just
Oh my
reading.
god, that's hilarious. So,
knowledge is
Roka
food.
he kind of looks down. He's still smirking at Kaylin as he, still thinking about what he said earlier. And he's like, he looks and he's like,
Fine, I'll take it. I'd rather you do it, but sure, give that to me.
and he takes it.
You have to learn
flies
how
up.
to be nice to people eventually.
And he's like,
Yes. Anyways,
and he puts down the little small piece of food on, right where the little hole is, and he flies back a bit, just to sort of gauge the situation, so he doesn't look menacing as the thing does try to come out and grab it. And he crosses his
Caleb is just
arms and he waits.
Kryla's gonna shout up in Draconic, we have food if you like. He's not going to try to grab you.
yet.
That does not help. Make a persuasion check. I'm gonna say with disadvantage because Zaroka
Advantage
drew in.
is Zaroka.
Oh, that wasn't loud.
You said
fine,
yes.
Okay, you said persuasion check with disadvantage?
Kaylin needs to make it because she was the one that said that.
I forgot. So I usually don't take high charisma characters for reasons and stuff because I'm not charismatic at all. But your boy, I forgot. Cool. So I rolled a 12 and a 13, and so plus 6, so that is 18.
The skittering, like the claws on stone, before it was kind of echoing around and it was hard to pinpoint exactly where it was, but now you hear them concentrated at the spot where you saw the tip of a tail disappearing. And now you hear hushed whispers between two different little voices. And you catch just little snippets, just little echoes over the whooshing of this waterfall. And they sound like young voices. And you hear one sounds more like a male, one sounds more like a female, both very young in Draconic, saying, the male, you catch him saying something tricks. And the female voice says something else, and then hungry. But they've not emerged yet. But you can tell they are pretty close.
I will not let him grab you, I promise. And she's going to take like the pack of what the food was in, and like toss Zaroka heads up and toss him the bag, and it's like, no, just put more of it down for them, please.
Zaroka gives out a loud sigh and he catches the bag in the air
Fine.
and he flies over and puts a whole bag down and then flies back once again with his arms crossed.
This is what you get for being too good for the ground.
Yes.
Delivery
I'm
boy.
too sexy for the ground. Too sexy.
He's Hermes
the
now, just delivering stuff.
Oh no! I imagine the one of the villain dudes from Avengers, the one that's just floating everywhere. That's how I imagine him, because he was also a wizard. He's just floating menacingly everywhere.
Zeroka, you kind of, I'm imagining you were keeping your eye on
Oh,
the
yeah.
tunnel.
Absolutely.
As you gently set down this food, you definitely saw in the darkness the reflection of two little sets of eyes watching you. And you hear more hushed whispers, and then very slowly, out of the darkness, out of this tiny little hole, Zeroka's the only one to see it because he's the only one high up. Just this little bitty dark green draconic head pokes out. And how far from the tunnel entrance did you put the food? Like, did you give it a few feet? Did you put it right up against it?
Right, not right up against it, like a little bit out.
It's like 3 feet.
5
Okay.
feet from it. Yeah.
You see this head look back and the female voice say, I don't care. Hungry. And you see what looks like a little, very young, baby green dragon limp out of this tunnel with her right wing kind of dragging on the ground next to her. Very obviously broken. She looks very thin. You can make out almost all of her ribs from underneath her dark scales. And she quickly limps over and snags the bigger of the packages. And you see the other head. Well, not her other head, but another little draconic head, slightly bigger, also a little bit like on the skinny side, you can tell, poke out and just hiss at Zeroka, like warning him he better stay back as she is trying to grab that food. What do you do?
Zeroka then looks and he starts speaking in Draconic. And he does say, well, first he actually looks at his teammates and he says,
Oh, looks like we do have some interesting friends among us.
and he looks over at the dragons and he says,
Well, are you going to just stand there and hiss at me?
The boy dragon kind of steps out a little bit further and offers you, oh, that's the wrong token, another hiss as the little girl dragon that kind of grabs the food and starts limping back into it, kind of looking at you. She doesn't hiss. You can see as she kind of turns and goes, there's a few more partially healed wounds on her back. And as the boy completely emerges, kind of protecting her backside as she retreats into this tunnel with the food, she grabs the main package, and now he's kind of reaching out, cautiously taking the jerky that was placed there first. And he hisses again at you and kind of flares his little wings, and you can tell one of them isn't quite raising as high as the other. You can see he is also very thin. Very dark looking, they just both don't look very healthy. They look like they've recently been in a fight.
Kayla's gonna 100%. Zeroka, why do I have a feeling you are not being very diplomatic? And she just
Being diplomatic with these things? Are you serious?
Oh my god. My pride. Nope. And she just kind of raises her hands out in the T-pose. please come lift me so that way I may talk to these things, talk to our new friends.
And
And be
he looks and he's like,
About time. I've been waiting for you to say that. Yeah.
she flies over and he grabs her with one hand and he lifts her up using all the strength that he has. And he just simply flies her over and he doesn't drop her down very nicely, kind of just like lets go immediately from like 6 feet.
Are you dropping her on this top ledge? There's kind of 3 ridges. One is low enough.
Okay.
So you could probably drop her on the second one that is about 10 feet up, and then it's another 5 feet up to the ridge where the dragons are. So she would be able to just see over that top ridge, but it wouldn't be a fatal fall if she fell backwards off of it. Or, I mean, if you're trying to put her in the face of this dragon.
I should just lift her up since I do have my boots last for 4 hours. So just using my strength, how much can I actually like just hold her? Let me see if I can just
I think
hold her while flying.
What is your strength?
My strength is a 12. So it's stronger than a normal average person, but
yeah. I'm imagining Kaylin, you said she was like average size, right?
Yeah, and I only have 20.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I should be able to. I only have like 30 pounds on me of equipment.
Yeah, and everyone has haversacks, so you probably have less than that technically. So, I'm gonna say you can just hold her if you want.
Yeah, so he just like simply holds her, picks her up, and he's like,
"How? How are you holding her? Let me get a good. I would like a word picture. I need a word picture here, please.
Oh my god!
How dignified is this holding of your warlock?
Not very. I can feel it in my brain.
Oh god. I'm holding her by her collar, her back collar, and I'm. Oh god, how do I do this?
Are you able to like? I'm just trying to like imagine.
Oh god! As much as I don't like it, Zaroka's actually going to take his other hand and put it underneath her leg. So she's being carried.
So it's a wedding handle.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it.
Don't tell anyone about this, Caitlin.
Trust me. Ooh, trust me. I'm not going to tell anyone either. This is just
and he kind of looks at Miz. He looks at Miz.
Don't you
Miz isn't paying attention.
Miz just starts like smirking and kind of like laughing under his breath.
Oh god!
And he looks, and Zaroka looks, and he like looks at the dragons, and he looks back at Kaylin.
Do your thing, please.
And cool. That reminds me. Do we have some way of contacting the guild?
Absolutely. Every party or individual, if you go out individually, has a sending stone that puts you right through to Henga, your lovely receptionist, at Guild HQ.
Cool. First and foremost, she's going to say to the 2 tiny dragons, I apologize for my friend. He has not been able to hit a lot of things on our way here, and he's very grumpy about it. Do not mind him. And she grabs the sending stone.
The air.
Yes, he is. She doesn't care. And she's just like, Henga, my lovely, it is Kaylin. We have a bit of we need backup. The thing we have found live ones, and it's like a thing. The farmer wasn't wrong. I don't know how I'm supposed to say this.
So by this point, the little girl dragon has completely withdrawn, and the boy dragon now kind of is curious because, like, you can tell he hasn't been around people much. He's still like, it's a very low, hissy kind of growl, like an unhappy cat almost, under his breath. But it is also kind of like a rah, rah, as he starts like chewing on some of the jerky. But he's wanting to keep an eye on you. And there is a good long pause before you receive anything back from Henga. And Henga's like, okay, I can see what. Are you sure?
There's two. They both need healing, and as she says that, she's also going to grab the potion of healing and just kind of like uncork it and place it down, and just say in Draconic to the boy one, I don't know if this will work for you, the two of you, but this is a item of healing. I don't know if she should drink it or if it should be poured over her wounds. Unfortunately, I am not. And she's saying this into the sending stone, so it's like, yes, bitch, yes. I'm not used to taking care of uh, beings such as yourselves, but that should at least that might be able to fix the wing. And she just, yes, Hector. I am very certain there are two of them. I am suffering so many indignities right now.
Oh my god.
So many indignities.
There's a pause, and Henga says, two. How big? That's a problem. That's going to be a problem because you sound serious.
Henga, darling, she who makes me happiest because she gives me work. I would not lie about this. This is a little. No, this is a little too specific for a funny prank. Yes, I
Yes.
am very serious. How one of them's like the size of a dog, one's the size of a horse, or
No, they are both the size of medium to small dogs. Like the bigger one, green dragons have kind of long legs, so I would say maybe the size of a skinny golden retriever, and the other one maybe a little bit smaller than that. So they are not the exact same age, from what you can tell.
and
And Henga says,
to it.
I believe you, and I'm trying to figure out if I need to send a lot of people or just the person that can handle a few little ones.
Probably the few little ones. They seem pretty skittish, injured, and very, very hungry. I do believe they have been using our fallen comrade Taral as sustenance for a little while.
Aw, shit, he is dead. Fuck. Yeah. Well, I lost that bet. Okay.
All right.
All right. We'll find you based on where your emblems and stuff are something. I'm gonna send someone. Sorry in advance. And there's like a click as the sending
no.
stone kind of disconnects.
Oh no. Would I actually know theoretically who she would send?
You have no idea. You have no idea. So she's saying there is someone that she's going to send that can handle multiple small dragons. That could be a lot of people within the guild, but dragon's existence would be kept pretty hush hush. So it would probably be someone that is a high enough rank or senior enough rank that you probably never worked with them.
Oh no. And so she turns back to the little boy dragon. Is there something that you would like? Do you have a name?
He looks at Kaylin, just still not trusting at all, and says, "Why should I tell you? I don't know if I trust you yet.
That is
This
fine.
food could be poisoned.
It could, but it is not.
You're from the same place that last guy was from, aren't you?
But he was an idiot.
Well, he was an idiot that knew how to use a sword. I see all of you have weapons.
I don't have a weapon.
I'm not stupid. I know what a belt is. I see it right there on you. Oh, wait. Well, you don't. I guess you don't because you're Hexblade. But
Nope. She just has like a dagger on her, and it's just a single dagger. It's like,
I know
I
you
don't have
people are
weapons.
tricksy. Why should I trust you?
I gave you food, and I'm trying to heal you. Also, you should probably actually go give her that potion. It might actually, because she might be. Well, I don't know. You know more than me. You do as you see fit.
He's gonna kind of look at you, and he's not going to pick up the potion, and he's gonna kind of withdraw until you can just barely see his head, and he's just going to watch you as he chews on this jerky. So he's eating the jerky. You've started to gain some of his trust, but he's been hurt. So he's not sure how much he trusts.
So Zoroka looks at Kaylin as he's holding her, and Zoroka looks and he's like,
Are we done here, Kaylin?
Just a moment, and she's going to reach out, grab the potion, sip a little bit of it, like, see, sip a little bit and put it back down. Reach into the other pack and get the actual rations, and put down another one, like within his next length. Grab the pack and just goes. When he is ready to talk, he will let us know. This indignity can stop.
Thank
We're going to
God
be
it's
waiting
insufferable.
down there. So if you want to communicate, we can. And there is in fact more food.
so Zoroka's actually looking at Kaylin. Just a quick question. What color is your skin?
She is like tan brown, but like there's like a purple tint to it.
Oh shit. Okay, so Zoroka then starts to think, and Abby, you know this, and he's like,
She looks like her.
and then he gently actually not drops Kaylin, but he actually puts her down.
Okay.
Cue very confused face.
Well,
Okay.
Zeroko's thinking that, not saying it, right?
Yep.
Yep.
No, it's just very confused
From
face. It's like that's what's I was expecting this to be a little more violent. I've advised Henga about our little friends. Someone is being sent. And then she just adds quietly. So we may just want to keep a general eye on them to make sure until whoever is sent can actually arrive. They have been hurt by the hand of people. So
Should we wait here or wait outside?
We should probably wait here because they're going to track. Oh, what's his face is still in the doorway.
He is.
Yeah, Xander is. But he has no clue about the current situation.
No, he does not.
So if someone were to appear outside of the cave, he would have no idea.
I will go back and inform him of the situation that just occurred. Soroka does so.
All right,
watch him just fly along,
and as he does, floating in the air like Ryoko.
Yes. Takes you a minute to get back, and you inform Xander of the situation. Knowing just enough about Xander, I think you could expect a very excited response from him. But without Ian here to play him, kind of not sure I want to say more about his reaction.
Probably so much excitement that it's like, no, you have to stay here. What are you talking about? No, you have to stay here.
Like, just a vibration, just vibrating like, I mean, not quite, but
all right.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you meet back up.
Oh, I was actually going to stay outside with them just in case, because I don't know. Yeah, because I don't know who these people are who was coming. So I wanted to, see sort of gauge who is supposed to be coming, and then follow in along with these people as they make their way. These other guild members.
All right. I was about to say, make them away. What I'm gonna do is bump you to a different map. I'm gonna kind of bump Ms. and Kaylin's tokens up and off to the side, so that you're still there and you can still see everything happening. But you
Ooh.
are deeper within. Can you see the current map?
Yep.
Back out at the entrance. So you two wait, and there's a few minutes wait, so it's not like an instant thing. And as a couple minutes tick by, you're like, they're probably gearing up in some way for a dragon encounter. Probably not best to just immediately teleport someone unprepared in. But then someone does appear, about 20 feet away from you, kind of over off to the side. So it wasn't a perfect teleport, but it is close enough that the wood elf that appears with the blue flash as she is teleported in does not fall into the water or anything. But she lands with her back to you and kind of is looking around, and you see that she's about 5'9", tan skin, long black hair. And as she turns, you see that she has piercing blue eyes. She's wearing dark fitted leather armor, and you see she's still in the middle of pulling on one of her gauntlets of her armor. You do notice she is geared up. She is not just like Haral with the basics. She has a bag of holding, a couple of short swords, multiple daggers, and a few magic-looking items, including a large amber amulet hanging from her belt. The ironic part is I feel like Kyo might have already guessed who was being sent based on her reaction, but
Kia was pretending ignorant to the law.
Yeah, the only two people that actually know who this is are inside. So the only two people who don't know who this is are the ones meeting this elf. And she turns, makes eye contact with you and starts to walk a little closer, and her stare seems to almost pierce right through you. And she says, "All right, tell me what the situation is. If this is some kind of prank, now is the time to come clean without consequences, and I'd honestly even congratulate you on convincing Golemov to play along and teleport me here personally."
Zaroka looks and gives a big sigh, and he's like, he sort of sticks his two hands behind his back.
This is no game. There are two dragons inside, skittering around. I don't know if they caused the death of one of our fellow guild members, but they are there nonetheless, and they don't seem to be cooperating.
She moves a little closer as she's kind of skirting the this pond. And she's looking at you, kind of gauging you just a little bit, and then there's just a hint of a smile on her face, and she says, "Was it Haral?"
Yes, unfortunately.
"Cool. I just won 5 gold. All right.
What?
That's very unfortunate."
Yeah, because none of y'all heard
very
that
sad.
conversation I had with Hanga.
So Zaroka looks and he's like,
5 gold? What do you mean?
Don't think too hard on that. That's not really the issue at hand here. Of course, 250 years without dragons, and it looks like, correct me if I'm wrong, a party of new-ish adventurers is the one that discovers dragons are, around still. You sure they're not drakes, wyverns? Did you see them?
Yes, I saw. It was a green one, and can't remember the other color of the other one. I believe it was blue. But it seemed as though, as I said earlier, they don't seem to be cooperating. What do you plan on doing with these things?
Well, if they're really dragons and not just something that looks like dragons, probably take them to the sanctuary. I don't know.
And what will they do with them?
I mean, it's a sanctuary, so number one, not kill them. Probably keep them safe there because normal people can't really enter the sanctuaries, so pretty good place for dragons to be where they can't cause chaos because if I'm not mistaken, we're in Direwood, right?
And once they get older,
I mean, that sounds like a whole lot of something to figure out later, honestly.
doesn't take too long for a wyvern to come. These look like baby dragons. It's around 15 to 20 years, if I may say so.
Right. So, still not that big, so I could probably lure them with some food. We'll figure it out. Show me where they are.
Fine. Follow me.
And she's going to go into the cave with you.
And so he does. Zeroka actually looks, and he does say,
Have you seen dragons before?
I mean, they wouldn't really send anyone without experience to go look at dragons. I would say I'm probably one of the few people in the guild that has been alive and around long enough to actually have experienced living alongside dragons. Can't say it was all a pleasant experience, and I don't know how pleasant these are going to be since we're in Direwood. That indicates they're probably green dragons. And judging from the smell, definitely smells like green dragons.
Interesting. And if they don't cooperate, do we eliminate them?
I have personally always had a no killing dragons policy unless it's, my life or theirs. I don't really see babies being a problem. So, no. If they're unwilling to go, I would probably just, unfortunately, come back until they are willing to go. But they're babies, so they can be bribed.
Understood. I'll speak no more. Here. Follow along. I will show you.
All right. And she's going to follow along. And I'm assuming at this point, Xander kind of follows. And there's a moment where she kind of like looks in the direction of Haral's body when you pass it and kind of just is like, like just a hint of a smirk and half of a chuckle. Totally unfazed by seeing the dead body of a colleague. Before she continues to follow after you.
and when she does that, do I notice her doing that? Does Zeroka know?
Make a perception check.
Absolutely. 13.
You hear noise. You're not quite sure if it was a little bit of a cough or
Gotcha.
what it was. You do see her face isn't completely blank. You do see that there's no visceral reaction or, scrunching of the nose at the smell of death. Like, she's probably used to it. She seems like
Gotcha.
she's been around a while. And as you continue, she kind of looks at the remains of some of the blights and says, "What exactly happened here? Because I was told dragons, but these look like blights."
It would seem as though their blights was protecting something. They seemed to keep calling out they needed to protect something. They did speak a little bit of common, I believe.
Right. Why? What would they be protecting? Have you encountered the tree yet?
The tree. What is this
Usually,
tree?
yeah. Usually, if there's little blights, there's going to be one big blight controlling all of them. I haven't actually seen blights in a long time, so that's kind of odd.
Zeroka's eyebrow perks up.
The tree. Would it be in here? In this cave?
I doubt it because trees need sunlight and things like that to live.
Good, because there were more blights further into the cave. Just a warning.
Right. I'm gonna send some of the nerds and make this not my problem later. It's probably fine.
While Zeroka's walking with her, he does ask her,
Did you know the fellow guild member who died?
Oh yeah, he was a little bit of an asshole. Very overconfident. One of the few people that I took time out of my day to try to train, and he didn't really follow any of my training. So, honestly, I knew it was just a matter of time before he. It's fine. I'll probably, I don't know, go get his body later, get him revived. I don't know, maybe.
Gotcha. I just wanted to see what your thoughts were of him. That's all. Anyways,
Mm,
the dragon is
asshole would
perched
be
up along there.
okay. Yeah, asshole would be my thoughts on him, but right. And now coming into view, Ms. and Kaylin, you both instantly recognize this person. This
Have I
person,
flirted with her before?
maybe, this is the liaison between the Adventuring Guild and the other guild that you two are a part of.
So yes, 100% she's
Um,
tried.
And the moment she sees both Ms. and Caitlin, her face just kind of falls and she just has this look of, are you kidding me?
Hi, honey.
You just see her eye
Honey,
twitch. And
you know
as
he's
she
here.
steps forward, Ms., you feel your weapon of warning begin to almost hum, not quite setting off a warning, but it's done this before in her presence, where it's acknowledging she might be a danger. You don't know yet.
Would you allow me to roll an Arcana check to see if I notice Mrs. Weapon of Warning?
Yeah, go
If
ahead.
I notice that, yeah.
Well, does
Oh, that's a
Caitlin
one.
get that? You notice nothing. Does Caitlin get that twitch in the back of her mind, like, dummy? No.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Me?
Yeah, you can roll one too.
Oh. That's gonna be 14.
14, you get this feeling in the back of your head. So, like, you haven't sensed it before, but now your party member has a weapon of warning, and you hear some kind of just faint sound coming from it. And you kind of glance at it, and I don't know if Ms. is making any kind of reaction to it, but you get this feeling like, oh.
Miz is just kind of folded up, has his arms folded, just staring at her basically as she's looking at him. Doesn't say a word, but he is a little more on guard because of his history and how he knows this person. So he's a lot more on like he's ready. Like if anything happens, he's ready. Yeah, he has prior history.
I'm pretty sure that hatred is that danger is pretty targeted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Soroka's just perched up along the rock with his arms folded behind his back, just simply waiting, engaging to see what's about to occur.
This elf looks at Ms. and Kaylin and says, right, before you can call me honey, you're gonna have to remind me your name.
Oh, do I want to say it? Do I want to say it? Oh.
And this isn't some of that fey shit. What do I call all I need names. I've seen paperwork, but I've only seen the faces of two of you. Who's who? You can call me Jess.
It is Kaylin.
Right.
Oh, although no, not you. Zoroka, you might want to go check and actually make sure that they're still up there, since we can't see because we're too good. We aren't too good for the sky.
Soroka looks and he's like,
I think the elf can go up there if she really needed to. She looks skilled enough.
She kind of looks in the direction that you're pointing and shrugs and says, I'm assuming they're hiding in little cracks and crevices and whatnot up there.
That's correct.
Sounds on point for what little green dragons tend to do. At least from what I read in books, because not many people have actually seen baby chromatic dragons, because usually there's a parent around. Tell me you haven't seen a parent around, because that
And
would
Zeroka.
be a bigger
And
problem.
she promptly repeats, I haven't seen parents around.
What a
No,
mess.
very legitimately, we have not seen parents. There are only two. We have tried food. We have tried snacks. They have been fed. There's a potion of healing that I left up there because the smaller female looks a bit injured. The elder male is also moderately the same size. He also seemed a little injured. Very untrustworthy of us. I just said, here's your food. We are down here if you're willing to talk. We don't know what the hell their names are because he is hiding in his crevice. And that is where we left them.
Well, first off, you can't just hand a baby dragon a potion. That's like handing a toddler an open cup of juice or something. Like, it's fine. I will take it from here.
How the fuck would we know? That's why I called for help.
And you were right to do so, because if you were to mess this up, it would make my job much harder. So you can run along now.
Well, it seems like that's it.
As I'm assuming we're gonna start heading out. As if that's like the last, if this is the next thing we're doing. As I pass by, I don't know. Is this an Arcana or an Insight check to see if somebody's wearing disguise? Because I wanted to use that on Jess.
That would be an
Investigation,
insight.
right? Is it insight or investigation?
Hold on. Let
Or
me.
an investigation.
I didn't actually have her character sheet pulled up. 1 second. Wrong sheet. I don't remember which one it was. That would be investigation.
Okay. I'm assuming that's the next thing we're doing is we're gonna like just basically, okay, you got this, whatever. We're gonna walk out. As Miz starts to walk by Jess, he kind of like perks over and looks slightly, and I want to roll an investigation check to see if I notice anything like a disguise or like that.
Go for it.
God damn, I suck at it. Investigation. Oh well.
Oh no. You can't really tell. The flickering light from the lantern is not doing you any favors either. You have no idea.
Okay, well, that's fine. That's
What I will give you with the 14 investigation is you have encountered this person before in the kind of tight quarters as you are starting to pass by her. You smell the familiar scent of whatever perfume or scent they wear of lavender and sandalwood, and you have smelled this on this person in the past.
Okay.
So you're pretty sure it's probably the same person.
Okay.
Yeah, Zeroka is actually looking, and he really quick, right as he's leaving, he puts up one finger behind. And he's like,
one last thing. How did you actually intend to get these things out?
Jess kind of shrugs, says, I have means, teleportation and all that. She digs in her bag of holding for a moment and pulls out what looks like a gold dragon scale, a little bit bigger than her palm, and you see what look like teleportation runes etched into it, and it is attached to a gold necklace. So it's like a very large amulet covered in runes. She says, this will get us directly to the sanctuary. It'll be fine. It's run by this nice old lady named Gran. She's like 1 billion years old, but, she knows about dragons, and she's got her granddaughter to help her with everything. So it should be fine. She'll probably know I'm coming. I'd be surprised if she didn't.
Can I safely assume that we should not tell anybody about what, or obviously, duh, but also we don't have a way to prove that we found Haral beyond the fact that we found his dead body. His belt and his token was missing.
Right. Well, Golemov is all for peace and everything, so I can't exactly just eliminate witnesses. Go back, and I'm sure Golemov is going to want to talk to you, and he'll probably give you some hush money.
Eliminate witnesses.
I mean,
Interesting.
that would be if you're stupid enough to say anything, because let's be honest, you found literally the rarest creature in the realms. That information should be highly guarded because that is going to put your lives in danger and the lives of anyone else who knows it, because there are filthy bounty hunters. And she casts kind of a side eye at Kaylin and Ms. who track down information and people like that, and they don't always make it out alive.
Excuse you, I was in fact headhunted for the Adventurers Guild, so you can stop with the side eye.
Not by me.
Well,
You two
yeah,
were bounty hunters.
because I was chosen by someone of means and quality, not rudeness. But anywhosen, yes, once upon a time I was a bounty hunter.
Well, anyways, we'll continue along. It doesn't seem like we'll cause you any more trouble.
Works for me. And she gives one last look of almost disgust at Kaylin and Ms. But I feel like what does Ms. say?
Oh, Miz just starts smiling at her, not saying a word, just straight smiling and walks away.
Yep, just,
I love it.
Zaroka, one last thing he says is,
Do you know if Herald had any family members or friends?
I mean, Henga's his cousin.
No. Well,
I don't
then,
get too deep into her personal business, so
want to see if I can find any type of send-off to any of his compatriots.
when I send the nerds back to look at all of the blights and everything, I'll have them on the lookout, and we'll recover the body and all that, and we'll see if Henga wants to get him revived. We've got
Understood.
people for that. It's just expensive.
Understood. My apologies for all the questions. You taking our leave now?
I'd honestly be more suspicious of you if you didn't have questions.
So,
as she's walking away, Kaylin is like, "Why are you just quietly? Why do you have a No, not loud enough for her to hear, but just like
No, I'm laughing, not anyone else.
and Mrs. Head, Miz is just walking by, and this is all in his head. He's thinking, she might be a nice kill one day. We'll see.
Yeah, as Miz is approaching, that weapon of warning is humming a lot louder. I want Xander to have a chance to ask questions, do whatever, and not just say this is the point where you all depart. So we're going to end the session here. Because I feel bad getting this far without him, but that's where we are. He told us to go on.
and he's
Show
missing
must
the dragons.
He is missing the dragons, but that's why we're ending here. So if Xander wants to hang back and have some, one-on-one time with these hissy little babies, he can. So, with that, we are going to end, and I guess everyone. Well, wait, yeah, Gary, insert here a word from the people we want people to support. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I have no idea when this will get
Adios.
published.
Theoretically, we're recording this before the New Year. See you next year.
Theoretically. So happy theoretical New Year. Something. Good night.
Dark side. Something.
Well, if you ask me, the estimate for post episode is probably Friday, January 3rd. You guys forgot me in initiative again. I got the pizzas. Anyway, are we even in the same room? Am I in the right place? Listeners, if you like what you're, follow us on. I don't think we. Anyway, follow us. Tell your friends about us. Follow some of the people. Type this. You can follow on twitch.tv force. We have Becky. You can follow on twitch.tv force. Jess, you can follow on twitch.tv/Jess Panda, or follow the Kyler, you can follow at Fishing After 5 on YouTube. Jay, you can follow on at Rush918 on Twitch. I guess that's the episode, guys. Farewell. Don't forget me.